Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here. I'm at Baxter Cycle and look what I got today. Isn't that just amazing? These are just arrived, just today. They're fresh out of the box. We've been taking turns riding it around the block. And it is a Himalayan Scram 411. Brand new, first one at Baxter's here. They're just coming out in America right now. Just an absolutely beautiful, I think this is flame red or flame white. I can't remember the color name, but I'll put it down below. But isn't that just gorgeous? Look at that beauty. And I will tell you now, it looks far better than it did on the websites. It's just a beautiful, beautiful machine. Just a gorgeous machine. Okay, enough about that. What is it? Well, it is a 411cc air-cooled, air and oil-cooled, oil cooler over yonder. Overhead cam, 2-valve, just like my Himalayan. With a it's fuel injected, 5-speed transmission. Isn't that cool? Just an absolutely beautiful looking thing. It's simplistic art, just an absolutely gorgeous machine in every way. Just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Look at this whole thing. I love the paint job. You know, these little plates, they hide all kinds of goodies back here, clean it up, make it look better. They help hide the oil cooler on this side. Just a beautiful thing, beautiful thing. The engines on these, I love my Himalayan. I have a red and white, or red and black Himalayan just like that one. And I do all my own maintenance. I've got about 12,000 miles on them. These bikes are incredibly simple to work on. They're robust. They are underpowered, 24 horsepower, I think, 23.5 foot-pounds of torque. That's about 32 newton meters. I mean, they're just a very robust, go all day hot rod machine. You know, lots of fun to ride. But anyway, so let's jump to the let's talk about wheelbase. Wheelbase is, I couldn't find specs right now, but on the Himalayan it's 58 inches, so I assume it's about the same. Ground clearance on the Himalayan is about 8.6 inches. And this one seems to have pretty good ground clearance. Now this has a smaller front tire on the front. This has a, shorter. It's a 19 versus a 21. However, it's a wider tire and possibly even taller. It's a 190/19, where the Himalayan has a 90/90/21. So this is a taller tire, but it's thinner. This is a shorter tire, but it's fatter. We've been driving it around. I can't drive a motorcycle really, so I just kind of took it around here, right here, but friends of mine have been driving it up and down the hill and all over, and they say it just runs beautifully, handles beautifully. They were doing all kinds of slow stuff. I did all kinds of little slow turns right through here, and it just handled like a dream going slow. I have not taken one down the road yet, and I won't be able to. Like I said, I broke my shoulder, so I can't get to that, but maybe in a week or two I will. But, anyway, these have a 300mm bi-breed front disc with a 2-pot caliper. That means there's 2 pistons on one side, floating caliper, ABS, front and back. The rear brake is a 240mm with a single pot caliper, 1 piston. The you know, it looks kind of beefier on the front, doesn't it, with that heavier tire. They've got a different fender on the front. It seems to have more clearance. That was one of the problems with the Himalayan, was once you bought one, you really needed to raise this up. I raised mine up about 3/4 of an inch so I could get a little more clearance. I had mine out in the mud. I've had it in the mud a few times, and the front tire would load up. Speaking of tires, they're C-out front and rear, 17-inch on the back. Let's see, the size on the back is 120/19. I think that's the same as what that is. Yeah, 120/19, 17 on the rear. Same as the Himalayan. You know, actually these are called the Himalayan, by the way. Himalayan Scram 411. But, okay, suspension on the front. It says, I found a 7.8 inches, where it's 7.9 on the regular Himalayan. So it's just a slight difference, but not much. And on the rear, it was identical to the Himalayan. 7.1, I think, is what it is on the Himalayan. But plenty of suspension. I have ridden my Himalayan probably 8,000 on gravel, 12,000 total, and I've never bought and buying out, so it's a great suspension. and I can't wait to take this one on gravel, or these bikes on gravel. Let's jump up here. We've got the boots. These are factory. This is kind of cool. Okay, this is a whole different thing on the front end, where the Himalayan has this thing here, you know, the racks, and all of the headlight is different, is not connected. The headlight and windshield is separate. It's part of the body, not part of the front end of the bike. Over here, the headlight is part of the body, or I mean the headlight is part of the front end, just like on a regular motorcycle. And something really cool about this is this piece here is cast aluminum, not plastic, but cast aluminum. I mean, that is really a nifty thing. And one thing I want to throw out right now, I love the stock Himalayan. I think it's a good looking bike. This seems to have a higher level of fit and finish than that bike. While we're here, by the way, look at the half stripe on the wheel. Red. They're color matched to the bikes. You have a, you know, if you have a blue bike, it's a blue stripe. Anyway, just a gorgeous kind of a thing. Stepping over here, it's got the exhaust with the pre-cat up higher. Let's see what we got coming out here. Here's one running. You know what color this is? This is a brand new bike, first time running. What is it?
Blazing black.
Blazing black. Sounds just like a Hemi, doesn't it? Okay, back to our sample bike here. Engine, like I said, is about the same. I wonder if the foot gear is in a different location. No, I'd say it's in the same spot.
Ready to do some more?
Absolutely great. Coming back here, I'd like to point out it has a different rear fender. This whole back end is different. The seat is a one-piece seat, and we're looking at that, trying to figure out if you could, you know, put this seat on the Himalayan. And there's actually a location difference for the how you latch the seat. The latch is in a different spot. On the Himalayan, it's over here. On the standard Himalayan, on the Scram, it's over here somewhere. But isn't that just neat? Look at that. Just a gorgeous thing. Just a gorgeous thing.
Well, I guess
It's a much cleaned up back end, I think. Very different looking. You know, the fender's higher. I would say it's more. Okay, here's the stock one. The tail light and the blinkers are the same, but the fender is different for sure. It doesn't have a rack on it like the like this one does, and just a kind of a cool looking thing. It's a monoshock, by the way, a linked monoshock. You can replace these links here, put a longer one on or shorter one on. It'll raise or lower the height of the bike. By the way, the seat on this is slightly lower than the regular Himalayan. It's 31.2, I think, where the regular one is 31.5, so very close but slightly different. Just a gorgeous thing. Coming up here, let's go to the dash. Look how pretty that is. It's a pretty exciting day here. We're all excited because we got like 12 of these in. Okay, so here's this looks so modern and nifty, even though it's analog. It's but look at this, gear indicator, fuel gauge, a clock in there, odometer. I think it has trip 1 and 2. But the great thing is on the standard Himalayan, you have to reach down here to push the button. On this one, the button's over here. Well, let's see, with trip A, trip B, odometer, and isn't that neat? Just a gorgeous looking thing. And this has the it's like the 2022 Himalayan. This is a 23, by the way. This has the day tripper or the nav system on it. Coming over here, we've got flash to pass, high lows, blinkers, horn, hazard lights, start button, and of course the kill switch. Throttle on this side. The mirrors look about the same. Look at that, isn't that cool? Wow. Gorgeous, gorgeous.
go ahead if you want to, yeah.
Look at this little detail here. Well, anyway, it's the other thing we figured out is we think it's about 31 pounds. Is that what we figured, Mark? Yeah, about 31 pounds lighter.
31, yep.
About 31 pounds lighter than this, or than the standard Himalayan. And we think that's because of the smaller tire and the all this stuff that's missing here. Now this does not have a The other reason it's lighter is it does not have the center stand. So that makes a difference. And also the rack on the back. But the stock bike comes with Seat tires. Here we go, guys. Hot rod. Wahoo! And away he goes. Right up the hill without a problem. Just a beautiful machine though, isn't it? So normal Himalayan handling wise, I can't tell you how this one handles, but I can tell you about this one. Handling around the, and I have pushed this one around. Handling around the, you know, pushing it around the garage or in the parking lot, it's easy. These bikes are low center of gravity, pretty light. This one's even lighter than the Himalayan. Driving slow, I have driven this one around here, going very slow, and it handled beautifully. They say the gearing is slightly different. We don't know if they upped the gearing or lowered it. We think they lowered it, but we're not sure. We'll find out more about that in the near future. Keep an eye on the channel. We're going to have a lot on these bikes coming up. So handling was slow speed was really good. We haven't had them on gravel yet, but we have had them. A couple of the guys have had them on the highway and on the roads around town, and they said they handle great. You know, very Himalayan-ish. Lighter handling, they think. The front end has a little more maneuverable. Seems a little more maneuverable. I'm supposing that's because of the smaller front tire, lower, you know, the 19 versus the 21. But if you're interested in a bike like this, Baxter Cycle, Marnie, Iowa, go to baxtercycle.com and they can set you up. They got about a dozen of these yesterday, I can't remember. I think half of them are sold already, by the way, and I can see why. So get a hold of these guys and talk to them. They can help you out. It's a truly beautiful machine. I think the cost, I think the website said $5,100 plus there'd be a setup fee, probably $500 or something like that. Shipping and, you know, freight and setup. But isn't that just a gorgeous machine? Isn't that just a gorgeous machine? Anyway, Baxter Cycle, Marnie, Iowa, baxtercycle.com. If you want one, tell them Fuzzy Biker sent you. Get out there and ride, my friends. Wahoo! It's really good slow, huh?
Yeah,
that's what I found when
yeah, and that's not down a gear.
Look at that. That is a scrambler.